Thanks for joining us at HowToAV. We're here at the RAI in Amsterdam for the AV industry's biggest, best and most exciting event. We're here at ISE 2016. And we find ourselves now on the Christie stand because I've been lucky enough to grab Jennifer Smith, who is Executive Vice President for Christie, and I was speaking to her the other night and she is full of information on technologies that are being launched at the show and what we're going to be seeing in the future. Jennifer, thanks for joining us today.
No problem. I'm happy to actually have a chat and share some of my thoughts on the show this year.
Now, Jennifer, I last saw her. She is award-winning for the technologies that she's involved in. So we've absolutely got the best person at the show who we can talk to about future technologies. So well done, first of all, on your award.
Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
I thought you'd be carrying it around with you, if I'm honest.
I think it's on the desk over there.
Yeah. Do you know what? Somebody dropped ours earlier on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's in two pieces, but we'll stick it back together again. Jennifer, what I wanted to talk about really is your thoughts on the show, what you're seeing here with regards to technologies and what people are talking about. So let's start off with what's happening right now with products. Now, I know that you see the future a lot more than any of us do here, but what do you think about what we're going to see this year with regards to technologies and trends?
So lots of technologies and trends as you kind of walk about the show floor, and some of it kind of now on display that we've all been thinking about, I think, for the last couple of years. So we're seeing a lot of display this year in solid state illumination product that's being done with lasers or laser phosphor or LED. A lot of lamp products still, but you're really starting to see a much bigger surgence in the solid state type illumination technologies. That's in the projection category. As I walk around, you kind of can't look anywhere without seeing lots of fine pitch LED. So you can really see the emergence of that display category becoming quite important to the AV industry overall. And then lots and lots of flat panels too. Again, things we've seen for quite some time. A little more prominence with the LED this year, I think, particularly for lots of indoor applications. You always see it outside the RAI in big outdoor applications, but really for inside use, it's becoming quite prominent. And then on the solid state illumination technology, everybody wanting that next best thing that's going to help relieve their workflow troubles when it comes to logistics associated with consumable parts, which is really the value proposition that's being sold for solid state illumination. So, I fully believe that there's going to be all kinds of different illumination technologies for a very long time. I still think we'll see lamps for quite some time. They have a fit in the market. They are a very good product. But then we'll start to see some more of these laser phosphor and RGB type laser systems for critical viewing and extreme type applications. But, for me, there's also this big trend, and we've talked about it, the industry talks about it a lot with what they call it the convergence of AV and IT. I don't love the convergence word. I prefer to call it an intersection. It's an intersection of these two industries kind of coming together because, convergence to me almost sounds like, one's going to dominate and the other's going to lose. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's an intersection. I really believe that both need each other. I think that as people implement technology for commercial purposes, for making the experiences that they want to make, you can't do so without adherence to internet protocols and mobile interaction and things these days which traditionally fit in the telecom IT space, but you cannot create a visual experience without the V of AV. Or the audio sense piece without the A of AV. So for me, I prefer to call it an intersection, and that's something I'd like to kind of get people talking about a little bit more.
And there are so many conversations about that crossover between the AV sector and the IT sector now. And certainly we've spoken to a number of integrators who are a little bit nervous about going onto networks. There's so much IP coming into the market, which we'll move on to shortly. But who's driving this? What's the right thing to do? Should the AV integrators be talking to the IT guys, or are the IT guys talking to the AV integrators?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, and I think both parties are maybe a little reluctant to have those conversations with each other. I think it's part of the, it's part of the nervousness. So I think, AV professionals are exactly that. They are AV professionals. They have decades and decades of experience, and the IT guys have the same thing. So when you're going to sit down and have a conversation, if I'm going to go have a conversation with one of our customers, be it our partner integrator or an end user, I want to talk to both parties because both have needs that can be met if we understand the mutual needs. Right? And so I think it's a little bit of, AV has to drive home that we have a depth of understanding that's complementary to what they do, and vice versa. We have to be open enough and confident enough to listen to the AV counterparts that we work with to know that they have a depth of expertise, that together it is that 1 + 1 = 3 situation. And I think everybody's just got to be a little calm everybody's got to be a little trusting about it, and we just got to all move forward in it.
We see so much technology moving forward over IP, and so much integration of HD-based T technology as well at the moment. What's going to win out, do you think?
Cool. That's a good one. It's an opinion piece, right? I like the HD-based T. I do support and advocate for standardization when it comes to complex protocols, because when you're dealing in both IT and AV spaces, there are complex protocols. There are a lot of competing interests when it comes to the various manufacturers and the standards bodies, and we have to make sure we drive for what's best for the end customer use, right? Because if we don't actually meet the end customer need or solve the problems they actually have, then we all lose. So for me, we offer HD-based T. We pay attention to it. It is important. Certainly has some issues still when it comes to integrating. I think from a mindshare perspective, the internet protocol, the IP piece, it has greater mindshare, and so for that you can't ignore it. And I think there's an overriding industry need for the telcos to continue to advance in, the IP protocols. And so I think given the dominance of that worldwide, it'll probably edge ahead. There'll always be a place for standardization within the traditional AV component, but you can't talk about them mutually exclusive anymore. You've got to talk about them together.
And I know, Jennifer, that you see the future a lot better than so many of us do. So I'm going to ask you to look into your crystal ball. What technologies are we going to see in the next 5 years that are just going to blow our minds, do you think?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that are coming. I'm really excited about a lot of them. So even you can walk around today, you can see things like the organic LED starting to gain traction. You're seeing a lot of advancement in the simplification of how we move content and video from one place to the next place, whether it's IP or other traditional AV protocols. But the thing that I think you're going to see most of is you're going to see people who understand now that canvases aren't single canvases anymore. They are multi-display canvases, multi-megapixel canvases in disparate locations, maybe in an experience like we kind of see here or anywhere else throughout the show. And being able to manage those pixels everywhere, as I like to call them, type canvases, you're going to start to see a whole bunch of new streaming protocols. You're going to see a whole bunch of new security protocols. You're going to see a whole bunch of new interactive interfaces that come to play with those types of canvases. And I think the other thing you're going to start to see, and this is my own personal prediction, is you're going to see a lot of the wearable tech sector starting to have a place in the environments and the experiences that are being created in an AV sense, because people want to relate. They want to interact. They want to have an experience, whether that's in retail, whether it's in a corporate environment, whether it's in a location-based entertainment environment. So I really think you're going to start to see some of these wearable technologies, and not just the watches type stuff, but right, everybody's going to suddenly become a walking electronics device.
And that's interesting, because we think of wearable tech as such a consumer-based product. ISE is growing and growing every single year, and I'm just thinking with that crossover with residential and all of the devices that we're now using to control AV, I'm wondering whether we're going to start to see more and more consumer brands coming to this show, do you think?
Yeah, I think we can see some more. I think we'll see more consumer brands starting to come. I mean, we already have some of the big names here that both have commercial and consumer products, but I mean, think about ISE 3 years ago. Did we have a drones hall? We didn't, right?
First time this year?
Maybe we had a booth, but we didn't have a hall. Right? So I really do think that the advancement in technology, I've been in the business a long time, I've done engineering a long time, and really the rate of change of technology continues to increase. And so I really think we'll start to see some of these non-traditional players pop up, because they'll all of a sudden recognize that there's a lot of audience and there's a lot of intersection again starting to come with traditional consumer technology and interacting in public spaces, which is so much of this show is about. It's about creating those public spaces and experiences that you want to draw people to, right? Get them out of their homes, get them spending money. And if we're doing that well, those people are now coming, but those people are wired from head to toe, right? Whether it's their mobile or they're wearing it, it's in their clothing. That's the piece I think we're going to see more of.
Jenny, we'll look forward to seeing you again next year, I hope. I'm going to be catching you to find out what was right, what we missed out on, and I know that you'll have even more things for us to look at in the future. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, guys. And if you've not been to ISE yet, we need to see you there. It's such a fantastic show. Come and see all the technology. Come and see HowToAV again very soon.